Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man walah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. يقول المؤلف رحمه الله وعن عائشة رضي الله عنها أنها سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الطاعون. This hadith, which is number 33, is reported by Aisha, the mother of the believers. May Allah be pleased with her, that she asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam about at-ta'un. Ta'un is a plague or an epidemic that breaks out in a country or a place. فأخبرها, he then informed her أنه كان عذابا, that this is sent as a punishment. يبعثه الله تعالى على من يشاء. Allah sends this as a punishment upon whomsoever He wills. فجعله الله تعالى رحمة للمؤمنين. But Allah makes it a mercy upon the believers. Allah makes this epidemic, plague, a pandemic, a disease that breaks out and it affects a large amount of people in a particular place. He makes it a mercy upon the believers. Which believers? The hadith will explain. فَلَيْسَ مِنْ عَبْدٍ يَقَعُ فِي الطَّاعُونِ فَيَمْكُثُ فِي بَلَدِهِ صَابِرًا مُحْتَسِبًا يَعْلَمُ أَنَّهُ لَا يُصِبْهُ إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا كَانَ لَهُ مِثْلُ أَجْرِ الشَّهِيدِ. Rawahul Bukhari. Hadith is in Bukhari. The hadith then says, anyone who remains in a place, any town or city, which is plagued with a particular disease, and he maintains patience, sabiran, he stays patient in this location. Muhtasiban means he's expecting and hoping for Allah's reward. That he stays there and he bears patience with what's happening around. This is the decree of Allah. So he bears patience and he hopes for Allah's reward. Knowing, at the same time, look at his aqidah, he knows that la yusibuhu, nothing will befall him, nothing will affect him, except what Allah has decreed for him, except what Allah has written for him. If this is the believer, so his aqidah is what? He puts his trust in Allah, he believes in the divine decree of Allah that nothing will affect me except what Allah decrees for me, and I'm happy with this. So he remains patient and hoping for Allah's reward. The hadith says his reward will be mithlu ajri shaheed. He will have the reward of a martyr who died in the path of Allah. He will have the reward of a shaheed, of a person who died fi sabilillah. So again, this shows us the virtue of sabr. Some of the scholars, they mentioned that in another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Bukhari and Muslim, he said, if any of you are in a place where there is a disease, a ta'un, a plague, a pandemic, epidemic, then فَلَا تُقَدِّمُوا عَلَيْهِ. If you hear of a place like this, don't go there. If you know there's a city where there's a disease that's broken out, do not go there. Why? This can lead to your destruction. You enter that place, you might become sick, and this can lead to your death. But if you are in this place, if you are in this city where the disease has broken out, فَلَا تَخْرُجُوا فِرَارًا مِنْ. Do not run away from it. You're not allowed to leave out of fear of the plague. You should stay there for two reasons. Reason number one is, you cannot escape the decree of Allah. What has been written for you will reach you wherever you are. And this is found in Surah Al-Baqarah. أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ خَرَجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ وَهُمْ أُلُوفٌ حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ. Allah Azza wa Jal said, have you, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not seen those who fled their homes in thousands? There were people in a particular place and a disease broke out. So they left. In their thousands, they all left till they came to a nice place, fertile land, trying to flee from the decree of Allah. What happened when they reached this land? فَقَالَ لَهُمُ اللَّهُ مُوتُوا. Allah said to them, die. An angel came. He screamed and they died at once. Every single one of them. ثُمَّ أَحْيَاهُمْ. Then Allah brought them back to life after some many years. And Ibn Kathir rahimahullah mentions that a prophet came, saw these people, made dua for them, Allah resurrects them, and Allah resurrected them. Al-Muhim, what do we learn from this verse, from these people? That a person cannot run away from the decree of Allah. Secondly, why do you not leave the place where there's a disease? You may be carrying that disease. If you take it to another place, then you are the one who spreads that disease to other places. And we saw this happening not too long ago. We saw these lockdown rules and so forth for similar reasons that we find in these type of hadith. The point of benefit for us in this hadith, this is the reason the author Imam An-Nawawi rahimahullah brought it in this chapter of as-sabr, is what? That the person who has patience during times like this, during a time of pandemic or disease, then his reward will be that of a shaheed. And this is why many scholars, they said during COVID, when people died from COVID, they were given the ruling of a shaheed. Many scholars said the one who died from COVID was like a shaheed fi sabilillah. That we hope that he was a martyr and he gets the reward of a martyr. Right? So this hadith also could be used in a similar fashion. So the reward is what? For the person who's sabr, the sabir, the one who has patience during this time, seeks his reward from Allah, and he remains firm upon his deen, upon his belief that nothing will affect me except what Allah has written for me. Whatever Allah has written for me will be khair, inshallah. So this is the believer, and this is what we hope for. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.